Hey, everybody, welcome to the 10K Project. It's your girl Cherie here with a super short live that we're going to be doing with regards to these robots. These robots are coming. iRobot is actually uh, really, really very close to here. The reason I'm doing this is because I read the Wall Street Journal and a couple of other things almost every day. And today I came across a very interesting article about a robot chef. There is a robot chef coming. So I read about the robot bricklayers that are coming and the robot nurses that are coming. So it got me thinking about this topic from a couple of different points of view. Number one is I am a Black person who loves Black people. And a lot of the jobs that are, first of all, the robots are going to be handling certain, they call them low level tasks that happen. And for a lot of us, our jobs are going to be affected first. So I'm going to show you a McKinsey report with regards to that. The second thing is that we have an incredible opportunity here because there are going to be new jobs that are created. There are also going to be new investments that are available to us. So everybody, don't forget to put your city and state in the chat so I can recognize you as well. Put your city and state in the chat so I can recognize you. So I'm going to show you a few things here with regards to the robots. And again, we'll probably only be on here for about 10 minutes maximum. And then I want to talk about this from being an investor as well. What are some of the things that we should be considering for 2022 and beyond investing in as 10K project members? What types of companies we should be looking at bringing in front of us? What kind of super teams we should be creating? Y'all know how I feel about my super teams. Um, what's a super team? A super team is a group of people that gets together and says, hey, we're going to build a business around this, or we're going to start buying businesses and making them better, making them Black owned. And then the final thing is that when Dr. George Fraser came and spoke with us earlier in 2021, he said, don't just think about building the robots, think about repairing them. What kinds of things can we do in order to prepare our young men and women for what's coming? Because they're going to live in a world that I'm 46, some of you may be even older than us, we may not even recognize. So I see Charles here from the Philly 215. I see Latrice here. Hello, Latrice. Good afternoon here. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to show you all a couple little videos here. Fair use, fair use. I should say that it's in the description, but just for the YouTube people, like to claim a little fair use here. Uh, and then also we're going to talk about what do we do as investors? What do we do as people who have certain jobs? How do we skill up? Things like that. So let's share the screen here. And the first thing you're going to see is this article from McKinsey. This McKinsey article says that artificial intelligence is slated to disrupt 4.5 million jobs for Black Americans who have a 10% greater likelihood of automation based job loss than other workers. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This came out in 2019. So in 2019, pre COVID, they started talking about this. This McKinsey report came out talking about how automation and AI and ultimately robotics as well is going to disrupt low paying jobs, low working jobs. And all COVID did was it accelerated the whole process because now big thing we have is this labor shortage. Well, they are accelerating the investments in these robots in order to not be so dependent on labor. Okay. So if you have family members, the holidays are coming up. If you have family members, start waving the flag now. You can pull up the McKinsey report. This said 4.5 million jobs by 2030. That's been accelerated. And again, this was done in 2019. This report was done in 2019. Black men without a college degree are particularly vulnerable to job loss, while Black women will fare better than even general white men and Asian American populations. Not here to start the gender war or have it go into some other stratosphere. We're just here to talk about what McKinsey is saying and others are saying as well with regards to this whole thing and how it's going to affect Black America. But guess what? If it's affecting Black America potentially in a negative way, it can affect us in a positive way as well. How? Number one, we need to skill up. We need to encourage our people to skill up. We need to let them know, hey, this is coming. Don't, put your head underneath, you know, the covers and ignore it. Instead, you want to be on your game. Number two is we can be investors in these types of technology. We have some of the most brilliant minds out there that can get involved in this and hopefully come to the 10K project and pitch certain ideas to us, and let's invest in these businesses. Let's start buying some of these businesses that have this cool technology that we can get into as well. So let's start off talking about the robot nurse, Grace the robot nurse. I saw this a couple of months ago um, on CNN. CNN has Grace the robot nurse, the ultra lifelike robot nurse. Now, this again was done August 2021. And I hope that this doesn't have any sound. We're just going to look a little bit at what Grace is able to do here. Oh, I think that that's a commercial that they're playing. So we'll let CNN get its little commercial in here. Then we want to see a little bit about Grace the robot nurse. This is Grace, humanoid robot nurse, looking lifelike, right? Want to see if there are other things that she's able to do here. But I think I went too far. But you all get the point. I don't want too much of a copyright strike on that. You all get the point that Grace, Grace is lifelike. Oh, you're saying you can't see anything on FB? Ugh. I don't know what to do, except maybe, yeah, I don't know if it's not coming, why it's not coming through, Dr. Keisha, but I'll make sure to, oh, it looks like it's coming through. I'm looking in Facebook now. So I'm sorry if you're not able to see it. But anyway, um, oh, you're saying now I'm okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. So Grace is here. Grace is apparently going to number one be able to speak three languages. They have her speaking English, Mandarin, and Cantonese. She's designed to be an assistant for doctors. She's equipped with sensors, including a thermal camera to detect the patient's temperature and pulse to help doctors diagnose illness and deliver treatments. Now, I don't know that much about medical um, jobs. However, this sounds to me like Grace is going to take the place of some of the CNAs that are out there. Y'all can put it in the chat what you think with regards to this, but the people who take your pulse, the medical assistants, maybe that's what it is. Anybody who knows, put it in the chat for me. These are the types of jobs that they're coming for. Hey, Tawana, good to see you. Yeah, these are the types of jobs that they're coming for. So, number one is the jobs. Number two is our ability to invest in these things, because if we're investors in these types of futuristic things that are happening, which is happening pretty much right now. Keisha's saying, Nursing Detroit, check this out. Yeah. So Latrice is saying, yes, I agree. Yeah, like we need to be number one, ringing the alarm for our people who are in these lower level positions. And it does not mean they're lower level people. It just means that they need to skill up to get to a point where they are not going to be as affected by these jobs. We also, as a people, need to start thinking about the companies that we're investing in through the 10K project. If you all know some super smart engineering robotics people, we need to get them through the door, have them speak to Tawana Rivers, have them do an equity crowdfunding campaign. We as a community need to come together and start investing in these types of businesses. So I'm going to show you now the robot chef, y'all. I saw this morning. That was actually what caused me to do this evening, because I saw the robot chef this morning and I said, okay, I am starting to see it all here. So let me see. Where is my robot chef? Here it is. Y'all, this is from Europe, but I'm sure it's happening in the United States too. The robot chef. The robot chef is going to make Christmas dinner for you. Can you believe this? Christmas dinner is about to be made by the robot. Here it is. Here's its arms. It's, cooking, etc. Now that's a mighty clean kitchen that we that we have there. But I read the article, and this was created by a guy who was a chef or is a chef. It's from a company, a London-based company called Motley Robotics, which is releasing the Moley. Oh, sorry, Moley Robotics, which is releasing the Moley Robotic Kitchen next year. It can cook more than 5,000 different recipes, y'all. 5,000. If your wife can make 5,000 recipes, put a one in the chat. If your husband can make 5,000 different recipes, put a two in the chat. I know Big Mama probably could, but want to talk about like going, how many years and not having the same meal twice? Like your kids saying, Mommy, I'm tired of eating the same old thing. Can we make something else? Right? So, literally, one of the things that was discussed in this specific article was the fact that they actually went to a chef and they saw how he did his hand motions and put the ingredients and pots and things like that in order to create this robot chef. Now, put in the chat, what are your first thoughts when you see this robot chef with regards to how our lives are going to change and how restaurants are going to change? I'll wait for you all to put something in the chat with regards to this, because this, so many of us are in food services. Let's be real. I get a lot. Y'all know I'm a business plan writer by trade. I get a lot of phone calls from Black people wanting to start restaurants. And with, again, COVID and the labor shortage and people wanting higher wages, and, we thought that McDonald's was just going to have the order taking systems out in the front. Now the robots are going to be cooking a Big Mac in the back. And initially, I thought that the robots were just going to be for McDonald's, but now I'm starting to see that my five-star restaurants are going to have the robots in the back as well, and maybe just one chef or one sous chef. Dr. Keisha's saying lower overhead for business owners, fewer workers required. Yep. Higher profit margins. They don't have to worry about the robots having an attitude. Not to say Black people have an attitude, like that's not what I'm trying to, but you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about the robot being sick. If the robot malfunctions, you call the robot repairman in, and it's taken care of. There will be an Uber type of service for robot repair. This is the type of thing that our young men need to get into. and young women as well, but I'm really, really harping on the young men because we have in some places a 50% unemployment rate of our young men in some of these areas. And I want to see them get into these types of positions. Tawana is saying, I think of the Jetsons from back in the day. Yeah. When I was growing up and I watched Jetsons, I thought, oh, this will never happen. It'll never like really happen. But all of a sudden, um, I don't know who that is. All of a sudden, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, ooh, I need to go like and watch some of those futuristic movies from the 80s again and really get a handle on what's coming down the pipeline. Dr. Keisha saying no more hair nets. I didn't even think about that. Maybe oil in your food, though. Possibly, possibly, Latrice is saying exactly, Tawana. Yeah. So, there's so much positive and negative. Now, I keep talking about like the robot repair on demand business. I'm telling y'all, somebody in this audience needs to start that. My neighbor next door to me, he was part of he was an employee of I think the county that we lived in for 30 years, and he retired, a couple of I think last year. He was something called a machinist. And I asked my mom, I said, well, what is a machinist? And she said, he's a guy that can look at any machine, see how it works, and fix it, repair it, whatever. And as I was watching and reading about the robot chefs and Grace, the robot nurse, and I'm going to show you the robot bricklayer, I think that type of job description is going to come back. Like that person, some of you have it, like especially if you have an old school father, like my father was. Um, that guy that can look at anything and see like all of the parts and can figure out how to fix it and etc. I think that these are the people that are going to be the main breadwinners of the future, the main skilled labor breadwinners of the future. So y'all can put it in the chat if you think I'm wrong, if you think there are other types of jobs. I'm very interested. Dr. Keisha put in here, I'm going to put this, she's in Facebook. I'm going to put this actually up on the screen here. There's a training program in Ohio, robots.com/services. I want to make sure everybody on YouTube, Twitter is able to see this. Thank you so much, Dr. Keisha. Everybody write that down. Yeah, and look, this, we thought that these jobs were going to be coming in 2030-ish based on that McKinsey report. I'm telling you, the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to be here. And one of the things that I'm encouraging people to do is if you're looking for a higher income, you're looking to level up in 2022, taking a good serious look at these types of positions. If you have the gift like Dr. Keisha does, she teaches. If she's able to start a school, she doesn't have to do the teaching itself, but if she can get the students in and get the grant money in from the county and then get the teachers in and put it all together, and look, the community would even support something like that potentially. I have to say potentially because I can't guarantee anything, but these are the types of things we need to be funding and supporting and paying for, and then doing outreach to get our kids with, I keep saying our kids, our young people in these types of positions. Um, Dr. Keisha just said, I'll put this up too. I'm not being paid to promote them. Y'all just did a Google search. Look, and we appreciate you, Dr. Keisha. And anybody can go and look up robot training in your area and see what's there. But we need to start more of these, and we need to start directing our people to these more. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is Sam the Bricklayer here on YouTube here. And y'all look at Sam the Bricklayer. Whoops. This is Sam the bricklayer, y'all. This is a robot. Laying bricks. Laying bricks, y'all. Sam the bricklayer is laying bricks, and somebody is about to make major money off this. I was talking with the real Dana. Shout out to the real Dana. Uh, I was talking with her and her community, I think it was last week, with regards to the infrastructure bill. $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. A lot of, I didn't even put two and two together with this until just now, but a lot of the infrastructure money may be going into people leveling up and buying this type of equipment. Why? There are there is a shortage of 2 million laborers for the jobs that are needed within that $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. In other words, the United States is short 2 million laborers. And when I was talking to Dana and her community, I said, where do you think they're going to get the labor from? And we all said immigration. They're going to import the labor. I'm going to take that back though. I think that, yeah, they'll have imported labor, but some of this money is going to go to getting Sam, the bricklaying robot, and other types of laboring robots that are out there. Again, if you all think I'm wrong, let me know. But I will say this. Within that video, one of the things that they showed was you still have to have construction people on there with higher level skills doing certain types of work. You have to have somebody who knows how to manage the robot. So, a lot of the skills that are coming for these types of positions will be with regards to that. I got one more thing to show you, and then we shall wrap up for the day because I got some homework to do for a class that I'm taking. I'm supposed to be doing Curtis's homework, but I'm playing hooky with y'all. Okay, so this is the final thing. 10 ways robotics could transform your future. This was written a couple of years ago, 2018, but it's still valid today. Number one, y'all, RoboCop is coming. Law enforcement officials, robotics to come into law enforcement. Drone footage, robots, etc. Again, 1980s, RoboCop came out. I thought, ha ha ha, that's cute. Yes, RoboCops are coming. Robots in education. So Dr. Keisha's here, and it says down here, robots will boost the process of personalized learning. Now, the humanoid robot is already forming bonds with students from around the world. It comes with important senses of natural interaction, including moving, listening, speaking, and connecting. So I don't ever think that teachers are going to be completely replaced. In fact, it says here it's not replacing the teacher, but it is enabling students to learn at their own pace. So, robots are coming to education, robots at home. We're already seeing the vacuum cleaner at home do chores for us. There are going to be other types of robots that are coming into the home. We just saw uh, the robot chef. So they're talking here. This was 2018. This article was written about the scheduling a warm home cooked meal to be ready by the time we're finished with work. Y'all, it's here. Robots as co-workers. So you are going to be able to work alongside your robot. You're probably going to walk into the office and your system's been churning over the last couple of hours, considering what's been going on in business, your role, your job, what you need to do that day, and probably offer up several about the right direction of what to do. So I don't know if your robot's going to be your bosses or not. Robots might take our jobs, but they're saying here that it probably won't take your job unless you're not willing to skill up. Um, To be more precise, robots are expected to take over half of all low skilled jobs. So, again, if you or your family has a low skilled job, it's time for them to skill up. They'll create jobs too. So they're replacing tasks, not jobs. The good news is it will create new markets and jobs. We might need additional education and retraining for those jobs, but the opportunities will be there. We know about the autonomous cars, the healthcare robots. We saw the nurse robot. They've got robots for entertainment, and ultimately, robots are going to boost our standard of living. So, um, I don't know why I've got these bots in here on YouTube. I apologize, everybody. But yeah, so that's the show for today here. So I'm going to put up final comments here. Online and hybrid learning is shifting the paradigm for robots as educators at home. Hmm, that is correct. So then the question again becomes, how do we make money from this? Number one is the types of jobs you have. Number two, the types of businesses you're starting. Number three, where the 10K project comes in, the types of investments that we are doing. We want to really think about focusing on investments that will help us leverage the robot the robots coming, right? So that is, look, that's the show for today. Again, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I might come back if I see another interesting article or set of articles. I might not. These are going to be more pop up sessions that I'm going to do right now, but I hope that everybody has learned something today. Thank you, Dr. Keisha, for participating. More robotics applications to consider for investments at builtin.com/robotics. Yeah, most importantly, we need to be owners. We need to be owners. We need to be investors. And that is the true heart of the 10K project. So, Patrice, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, everybody, for being here today, for chiming in. And we'll do another pop up session at some time. Thank you so much. Have a great day.